What's up, sports fans? It's your boy, the Black Andy Cat. We back in the building. Remember to subscribe, like the video, get in the comments, tell me what you're thinking. The Orlando Magic had their second preseason game, and it was more the same. It looked very similar to the first game that we saw down in Mexico. This was against the Sixers. Magic went at it. They won. Not that it really matters, right? These games don't count. The Sixers didn't play their big guns. But because the Magic have retooled their roster, it's important to us as Magic fans, right? We're watching to see what this team is going to potentially look like when the regular season hits. So a couple things one thing that was different here was that we saw Franz Wagner. So Franz, he was out on the court. We got to see him and potentially see how he fit into this whole scheme now that we have Desmond Bane. Jalen Suggs still hurt, still on, not hurt, still recovering from injury, so he didn't play in this game. But still a lot to see. Again, I like it because I like the Bane move. I like everything I see about this. Some things that were, that pace of play was still there. They're still up and down the court. They're still attacking the basket. So that seems to be what this team's going to be about when the regular season starts. The three-point shot, not as important to the Magic as it once was, apparently. Maybe things change, but we'll see. Outside of that stuff, there were three things that I really keyed in on, right, on this particular game. And so what are my three things from the Magic's second preseason game? All right. Thing number one, where the Rook's going to fit in, right? So I'm looking at Jace Richardson. Guy looks good. He can dribble the rock. He can attack the bucket. He seems to fit in. He doesn't feel like a rookie. He seems like he knows what's going on. Offensively, he can attack the bucket. He passes the ball pretty well, and he can control the half court a little bit as well. So I'm wondering how much run is Jace Richardson going to get this season, particularly when you look at the fact that when Jalen Suggs is out, right? What we're seeing is that Tyus Jones slides into with that starting team, and then they use a combination of Anthony Black and Jace Richardson at the guard spot. Now, a little different because they had Franz Wagner in there. So how does this all play out if Jalen Suggs doesn't get to start the season, if he's still rehabbing on his injured knee? How much run does Richardson get as the season starts off? We saw this last season with De Silva. There were injuries, and De Silva got a lot of run during the first part of the season. Playoffs, we didn't see him. He was buried on the bench, right? So that could be the same case here, but it feels like Jace Richardson could potentially give the Magic some help during the regular season or at the beginning of the season or during injury, and the Magic will probably be in a pretty good position. So that's number one. How much run is Jace Richardson going to get? In my last podcast about the Orlando Magic after the first preseason game, I kind of guessed that he probably wouldn't see much playing time, but I'm starting to wonder because he seems like he fits in really well with this group. Thing number two, this is going to be a big season for Anthony Black and Jet Howard in the sense that these guys are hitting their third season. It's time for the Magic to start making decisions about, all right, are we going to extend these rookie contracts? What are we going to do with these guys? I expect the Magic to extend them potentially because it gives them that year. And if they need to make a trade, now these are contracts that can fall off of, that can potentially fall off the books if you need somebody's looking to dump some salary. But at the end of the day, both of these guys still appear to be finding their way in this new offense. And one thing I did notice, Anthony Black is playing more in the post. They seem like they want to get AB to start posting up smaller guards. Makes sense, right? He's a big body guy, wide receiver, played football. He's tough. He can handle the inside. We've seen he likes the contact. He's not afraid of that. He's shown that in his first couple of seasons with the Magic. So I like the move. Whether or not he can actually get proficient at it and become a weapon from the block. They seem to be getting him around the block and having him post up. I'd love to see how that plays out. That would mean he probably wouldn't handle the ball as much But that makes sense. If Tyus Jones is going to handle the ball for the second team when Jalen Suggs comes back, right, and you got Franz out there, that makes sense. So even if you don't have Tyus Jones, let's say Jalen Suggs is out for an extended period and Tyus Jones is still running with the first team, that's why I'm asking questions about Jace Richardson, right? Because he seems to play that position pretty well. The problem with Jace Richardson is he doesn't play very good defense. He plays rookie defense. He doesn't know how to play defense in the NBA as of yet. So we're yet to see how that's going to play out. But Jett Howard, same situation, right? Jett Howard was brought in to be a three-point shooter. Well, that doesn't seem to be as important to the Magic at this point. So what is his new role? How is he going to play? He's been attacking the basket as well. So, is he going to adapt? If he does he have a role on this team? Is it better to keep Tristan da Silva than it is to keep Jett Howard? Is there a need to have both of these guys? Or do you find a way to kind of move that salary to find a piece you need, right? Particularly maybe somebody in the front court, but we'll come back to that. But so I think these two guys are going to have to show something. And if they don't, I think they could potentially be a part of a deal at the midway point trade deadline this season. It's just, they've kind of filled this role, but it's been kind of vanilla. They haven't done much to show much impact on the success of the team. And I think now, that's what happens right now. Once you push all the chips in like Weltman has, it's all about winning a championship. If you're not helping the team win that championship, teams tend to start getting rid of you and trying to find somebody who can fill certain roles that get you over the hump. Look at what the Knicks did, right? They made some wholesale changes, right? Cleveland made some changes. So this is going to be a big season for those two guys. It could be make or break for them in terms of if they're going to be with the Magic going forward, because it's all about winning now. And the Magic have their first team. Now they're looking for those complementary pieces that can help get them over the hump. Third thing about the second preseason game is that the Magic, they need some front court help. Now, when I say that, they need somebody in the front court to help them out outside of Wendell Carter Jr. Now, straight up off the rip, Wendell Carter Jr. looks great so far in the preseason. He's got legs, look lively. He looks really healthy. He seems to like this new role that he's playing. He's touching the ball an awful lot, right? Put up big points in both games, and he's playing great defense. So, but who's going to back him up when he has to come out of the game up front? The Magic Magic used to be a big team. Now they seem small, right? Mo Wagner's hurt. We're not sure when he'll be back, and when he does come back, how long is it going to take him to get to full speed so that he's back to where he was and can be and have real impact and help the Magic out. So he's kind of off in the bushes. You got Batadze, Goga plays a little differently. He's not as good defensively. He's not as good. He can protect the rim somewhat, but just doesn't give you as much offense as you need. And defensively, he can only cover certain people, right? He's really a center. Magic needs some forward help, right? They need somebody that can go out there and guard the fours and potentially the three. So right now, you don't have much of that. So Magic looking for help in the front court potentially this coming season. Right, Da Silva's playing kind of that 3, maybe 4, but he's not very big, and right, he doesn't play tough on the inside. He's more of an outside kind of a shooter. He can drive and pass, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to gut you out and grind it out in the middle and get you some tough buckets, right? I'm thinking about in the playoffs, you're going to have to go up against the Celtics, the Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Those guys all have people up front that can do work, right? And they're going to put pressure on you up front. You're going to have to defend, and you're going to have to force those guys to play defense. And right now, the Magic don't really appear to have anybody that can fill that role. Now, you do have Jonathan Isaac, but right, he's always a question mark, right? We don't know what happens with Jonathan Isaac. How many minutes can he play? Can he give you solid backup minutes? Can he play consecutive games? Can he play on back-to-backs? It's going to be a big, that's something you have to figure out moving forward. And right now, we're just not certain who's going to fill that role for the Magic. So I think the Magic are probably looking for some help behind the scenes for the front court right now. They're going to need somebody to help them, handle the pressure that they're going to see in the Eastern Conference, because the Eastern Conference has a lot of good front courts, right? Or at least they're proficient, right? So those are the 3 things that I noticed after the second preseason game. Still feel great about this team. It's interesting too. Well, we'll go into that in another one. We'll wait for another preseason game, and I'll come back to P5 a little more. He's interesting as well, watching what's happened, as well as Sham God, being part of the kind of player development staff that's helping players get better. Right, you can see some of that starting to happen with this team, and I think it's a big deal. But we'll talk about that in another episode of the podcast. We got a couple more preseason games, a lot of things to talk about before we get to the season. Remember, I'll be with you all season, following the Magic with you. Big Magic fan. Subscribe to the channel, comment, like, tell me what you think. Peace.